Hello children, in the last class we had started chapter number 16, the Union Legislature, and today we shall continue that. Now the heading, our next heading is three organs of government. Now the Indian Constitution divides the powers and functions of the government between its three organs. They are the legislature, executive and judiciary. Governments at both the center and the states comprise these organs. The distribution of powers between them ensures that there is a balance in the system of governance in India. So now what is given? That the Indian Constitution divides the power and function, that whichever powers and functions are there, all the powers and functions of the government are divided among the three organs. And which are the three organs of government? That is legislature, executive and judiciary. You have to always keep this in mind, that it is very important. Always you have to remember this, that which are the three organs of government. It is legislature, executive and judiciary. And government at both the center and the states comprise these organs. That is, whether it is center level or whether it is state level, at both the levels government has these organs. Which organs? Legislature, executive and judiciary. And the distribution of powers between them ensures that there is a balance in the system of governance in India. That is, as distribution of powers and functions are there among these three organs, so that ensures us that there is balance, proper balance in the system of governance in India. Now you can see other side chart is given, this chart, this one. Okay, yes, in this chart what is given? That government is there and there are three organs of government. And which are the three organs of government? It is legislature, executive and judiciary. Okay, and what are the functions of these three organs of government? Now as it is written, that legislature formulates the law, that all the laws which are there, that is formulated by the legislature. And then the second one, executive law. So executive, it implements the law. That is, all the laws are formulated by legislature, but all those laws are implemented by executive. And then third one is judiciary. So judiciary interprets the law, that whichever law we are making, that is correct or not, that is decided by judiciary. Now move on to the next page. Just a minute. Yeah. So in the next page, here you can see the Parliament of India is the legislature for the central government in India and makes laws for the entire country. The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, along with the President and the Vice President, form the executive. So what is given? That the Parliament of India is the legislature for the central government in India. So you have to keep always in mind, such type of questions can be asked from within the chapter, that the Parliament of India is the legislature for the central government in India and makes laws for the entire country. That it is Parliament of India only which makes the laws for the whole country. And the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, along with the President and the Vice President, form the executive. Now the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers who are there, along with the President, that is, it is the joint effort of all three, whose Prime Minister, Council of Ministers and the President and Vice President, they all form the executive. That means they all form executive, that is, they are the member of executive department. Then in a parliamentary democracy, the executive and the legislature work very closely. So what is given? That in the parliamentary democracy, the executive and the legislature which is there, they work very closely. That is, they are very close to each other whenever they have to formulate any kind of law or when they have to implement any kind of law. So they remain close to each other so that they can discuss about the different laws or the matter or the things that they have to execute or formulate. And then they have very close connection. The executive is responsible to the legislature for its policies and actions. Then in states, the state legislature, that is Vidhan Sabha. Okay, state legislature is known as Vidhan Sabha in Hindi. So here in states, the state legislature is the legislative organ, while the chief minister, council of ministers and the state governor form the executive. So what is given once again, that is in states, the state legislature is the legislative organ, while the chief minister, council of ministers and the state governor form the executive. Now move on to the next heading, that is jurisdiction of union and state legislatures. Now the Indian Constitution clearly divides the powers of the union or central and the state governments into three lists, that is union list, state list and the concurrent list. The union list contains subjects of national importance on which only the union government can make laws. Okay, so what is given, that the Indian Constitution clearly divides the power of the council and the state governments into three lists. That is, the power of the union and the state government is categorized into three lists. And which are these three lists? Union list, state list and concurrent list. The union list contains subjects of national importance, that all the important subjects which are related to national importance, that is for our country, which are beneficial for our country, so that comes under union list, on which only the union government can make law. That is, all the national importance topics which are there, subjects which are there, so laws for that is made by the union government. And then the state list contains subjects of regional importance on which the state governments can make laws. So another list is state list, and a state list contains subjects of regional importance, that is any particular region is there. So about its importance, whichever subjects are important, so laws of that is made by the region, by the state list. Okay, that is listed in the state list, on which the state government can make law. Only state government acts on it. Then the concurrent list contains issues of both national and regional importance, on which both the union and state legislatures can make laws. So concurrent list, third one which is there, that contains both the national and the regional importance subjects, and on which both the union and the state legislature work together, and they both make the law together. However, in case of conflict, that is, suppose it happens that union legislature has different opinion and the state legislature has different opinion. So in that case, when there is conflict between the two, so case of conflict or any law made on a subject under the concurrent list, the union law will prevail upon the state law. That is, union law is considered, that whichever law is made by the union government, that is the central government, that is considered, or that is given much more importance than the state law. Okay, that in case of conflict, that if state law and central law government are there, that if they both work together in the concurrent list, but if they both are having different ideas, different thoughts about making the laws, then who is given much more weightage? That is union law, that is the law which has been made by the central government. Okay, now you can see here it is given the three blocks which are given, that you can see it is union list and state list and the concurrent list. Let me show you just a minute, that these are there: union list, state list and the concurrent list. Okay, now in this, under this, you can see under union list, as it is told to us that union list deals with the subject which are of national importance. So which are the subjects which come under the union list? Defense, foreign affairs, currency, war and peace, atomic energy, national resources, railways, post and telegraph, citizenship, foreign trade, banking, census and election. So all these are the subjects which comes for the national importance, which are of the national importance. And then another list is there, that is state list. So there are 66 subjects, and some of the common ones which are there, major ones, that is given, that police, law and order, public health and sanitation, hospitals and dispensaries, libraries, agriculture, water supply, irrigation and canals, fisheries, state roads, trade and commerce, and taxes. So all these, the law for all these are on these subjects are made by the state government. Okay, and the first one, the previous one that we were doing, union list subjects, the laws for all these are made by the central government. Then after this, third one, concurrent list. Now what is the concurrent list? That concurrent list deals with both, that is with the national and regional important subjects. So which are the subjects that come under this? Like here it is given: criminal and civil laws and procedures, marriage and divorce, education, economic planning and trade unions, labor welfare, education, electricity, newspapers, books and printing press, stamp duties, wildlife, forests and price control. So all these subjects which are there, the laws for all these are made by state and the central government together. And in case of conflict, that is if both does not agree on one point, so who is given much more weightage, who is given much more importance? It is the central government. Whatever they say, state government has to follow that. Okay, now in this class we shall have up to here only, and in the next class we shall continue from the next heading, that is the Union Parliament. Okay, thank you so much dear children. Bye bye.